go back to that 70-yard touchdown, you were kind of talking about how like the coverage was maybe not ideal for that, right?
Yeah.
So I guess like, what's your just trust to just like kind of just knowing who Rashid is to just like kind of throw the ball up to him when you otherwise wouldn't, you shouldn't?
Yeah, I mean he's proven to me, over the course of these last 2 years that he just consistently, will go make those plays. And there's obviously a time and a place for that, and what's that line? I wish there was a very definitive answer for that. There's a fine line there, but you just hope that you make the right decision more times than not. And he just reminds me so much of, a guy like Henry Ruggs, who I played with in Vegas. Henry, I threw him 2 touchdowns versus single safety defense, throwing a post, over the top of guys because they settled their feet and things like that. So there's just guys that can just do things like that, it doesn't compute in your brain because that's not how you've been trained. But when you experience things like that with those guys, it sure is fun. But that's God blessed him with different kind of speed to be able to outrun coverages like that. And that's why I said when I came out of the fake, he was already up on the safety, and I just couldn't believe it. So I just gave him a chance.
And you kind of mentioned in the postgame that he took the right angle.
Yeah.
Because that part of what makes him good at those is kind of like understanding angles and leverage and all that stuff as well.
Absolutely. And I think again, you can teach a guy, versus certain coverages, where to go and things like that. But, he has it naturally, and the best thing that he does is track the football. I can throw a ball, as high and as far as I want and make it really hard for DBs when you throw it high to, follow the guy and still look for the ball, and he can track it and see it and go and find it, and he's even a guy that can see it, put his head down, hit another gear, and know where it's going to be. And, I mean, that's just gift, man. That's hard to teach.
How long did it take to adjust to like his speed and just like knowing that maybe it's a little bit different than others and how far you can lead them and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, it took after the first couple of throws, you're like, oh wow, and then it would remind me of some of the guys I played with, that really run that 4.2, crazy speed, like Henry Ruggs, and Zay Jones is another guy like that that can absolutely fly when he gets up and he's rolling. Deshaun Jackson was another guy he was later in his career, but he could fly. And and I'm gonna stop naming them before some of my fast guys get upset. But there's guys like that you have that experience with it, where it's just different.
I know it's just 2 games in, obviously, but have you been a part of this kind of production in the NFL in terms of efficiency? 9 straight scoring possessions in the first game, 6 straight in the second game. Have you been in that in the NFL?
I would have to check the stats. I don't know. I don't think so. It's hard to score that many times in this league, and obviously you want to continue to do that. You want to keep putting pressure on defenses and things like that. But to be honest, like I don't think that I have. Obviously you see the stats, you see the numbers out there for the whole offense, and what it's been in history and all that kind of stuff, and it's cool. But at the same time, it doesn't mean anything this week.
Yeah. What's it kind of attributable to? Because I mean, obviously you guys install a new offense, you don't have a chance to, I guess, gel ideally, and yet it looks as if you have gelled ideally.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, there's so much that goes into it. The coaches have been unbelievable, and the standard they've held us to. Our guys have worked their butts off. The extra film you see, guys, I come in here on our off day, and you see so many guys in here watching or getting, they're in the building and they're doing things to get ready for the game, and it's like, wow, it's all that extra hard work in the off season that our strength coaches put us through, and the OTAs and the training camp the DA put us through, and it's all that work, how hard it was then. Like I said after the game, you're thankful for it now.
Speaking of coaches, out here, Clint is probably as plain a guy as you will ever hear. What is he like in there?
He's all ball. He loves football. He grew up around it just like I did, and he absolutely loves this game. And but he also, he's very, I'd say stoic's probably a good word out here, and he's stoic. He's like that with us too. But when it's time to coach football, when he puts that clicker in his hand, he's going to call me out. He's going to call our guys out. He's going to address everything. He's going to say, I need it like this. And they coach perfection. He is going to coach perfection. He's going to hold us to that standard all the time, knowing that no one's ever going to be perfect. But we all say, yes, sir. We work on it at practice. Whatever he coaches us on, that's the other thing, is our position coaches, we go out there, we're working on it, And he's like, you guys got to get better at this. We go and we work it, And so he doesn't let anything fall into the cracks. He calls everybody out, myself. If AK had anything, if Chris had anything, if Eric had anything, if anybody has anything, he tells everybody. And we do it all in front of each other. And then now we're held accountable in front of our peers. And I think that's a beautiful thing, is that when you can do that, in the way that he does it, in the way that he cares about us also. It's not just like he's yelling at us and he doesn't care. He also tells us, hey, good freaking throw. That's nice to hear sometimes too.
Have you guys been able to catch him smiling yet? Or?
Oh yeah, we've gotten him to laugh a few times, that for sure. Yeah.
On a Sunday during the game, how locked in is he?
Oh, he's very locked in.
Okay.
I mean, laser focused. Like there was a couple times like, hey Clint, hey, and he's like, oh yeah. He's like going through something in his brain, and absolutely laser focused. Yeah.
How much have you guys kind of honed in on new week, new challenge? The last 2 weeks were great, but obviously what's in front of us is most important.
I really like that we've done that every week. We've done it the first week, we did it last week, we did it this week. Like, this is a really good team that we're about to play, that was recently just in the Super Bowl, and almost won it, and so, this team, they're coming off a tough loss. You don't think they're going to come out and fight, like this is a championship football team that we're about to play, and we better bring it. And so, again, that we're focused on, this opponent obviously, but we're focused on ourselves. We're focused on what are the things Coach told me to get better at, and am I working at them? Am I really working at them? Not just saying I'm working at them. And so we've tried to just take that approach every week, and hopefully it just continues to work for us.
Last year, you handled everything with professionalism, class, and grace, no matter what happened at some of the home games. This is going to probably be a much different atmosphere from when you got here.
Yeah.
Is it kind of nice to have a true maybe home field advantage potentially because of what you all have done early in the season?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We had to prove it to our fans. Like, we didn't give them, good enough, football last year. And, last year, at the end of the year, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun at the end of the year. There was, some rough times at the beginning and in the middle, but, that last half of the year, I did feel that love and that appreciation in the off season. I felt it when I would go places, and it was awesome, to have the support. But I think what we've done, obviously, the first 2 weeks here, I think, we always talk about, like, we gotta win for our city. We gotta win, for them to be happy. We want to do everything so everyone can enjoy Sundays, with us. And so I think that this is going to be an electric atmosphere. I think our fans are really excited. We talked to, what's the offense going to like? What's this going to like? I just said it was going to be different, and I think things have looked different with motions and different kind of things and all that kind of stuff. And I think the fans are starting to get a feel for, who we are and what we do, and hopefully they get excited about it. But you can definitely feel the buzz about it. But, for us, we knew, if we want to do what we want to do, we were going to need that stadium rocking. And, we have to play good football for that to happen. And so I'm excited for, this Sunday and to feel that atmosphere for sure.
Derek, is it just as hard to manage success as it is to manage adversity?
Yeah, you know what? Early in my career it was, because I was like, yes, we freaking won, we did. And it's like, oh crap, I do that so much, and it's like, at the end of the day, like, I'm genuine. Like, when I said it last year, and I'm saying this year, like, it really doesn't matter. Every week is a new challenge. Every game, every play is a new challenge. And that's a beautiful thing about football, is you get to put the ball down and go find out. And I said that last year. I say it this year. Like, it doesn't matter what we did the first 2 weeks. Philly don't care about that. They're coming in here trying to beat us in our home. And so for us, we get to put the ball down, and the work that we put in from the off season, and then this week, until Sunday, that's what's going to count. And so, for us, we're playing Vic Fangio and an amazing defense, like, with an amazing offense. Like, our challenge is right in front of us, and so if we don't bring it, here throughout the week, they have a great pressure plan. They got cover zero blitzes. They got a great front. Some DB. I mean, they got linebackers that can run. They got, they move the front. They play different coverages. They play the shell and hide and disguise the single hide. There's so much that we have to focus on that we can't sit here and be so happy about, what we've done. That stuff doesn't matter anymore. We got to focus on the task at hand.
I know you threw in the ball a lot last year, but I assume chemistry with the wide receiver is something you always have to maintain.
Yeah.
So was there a point where you really felt like you and Chris Olave were on the same page, whether it was last year or even just going into this season?
Yeah, I think there was a play. Now, forgive me, because my mind is all on Philly right now. But I think it was against the Lions, where he ran like, we were in a play action, he ran like a sail. And the flat defender started getting some depth. And as I came out of fake, I was like, man, I really hope he sits this down, you know. And we never talked about that. And as I'm throwing it, he started sitting it down. I drilled it in the window. He caught it and split it for like 20-something yards. And I was like, holy crap, like this could get really fun, you know. And that was a moment right there where, you know, we had been working and growing, and we're still working and growing. But that was a moment right there where him and I think we had a great moment, and that moment was a good one for us. Because when I saw him do that, I was like, that was different. You know, the fact that he saw it the same way I did, that's hard for receivers to do. So I remember that moment, and then, you know, this whole year has been just phenomenal with him. You know, I'm saying from the spring until now, we've just been working, growing. You know, he knows he's our guy and all that kind of stuff, and it's been a lot of fun.
Is it? I know that you're focused on your team and your game, but I'm sure you pay attention to other scores and what's happening.
Yeah.
Is that maybe kind of what makes football the greatest sports entertainment product? That you see the Ravens are 0-2, and the Saints are 2-0, and they've done all this. I mean, do you kind of follow that and even kind of chuckle to yourself about what you see from week to week sometimes?
I gotta be completely honest with you. Like, this game is designed for everybody to go 8-8 with salary caps and drafts and this and that and all this kind of stuff. And so I've played enough football games to know anyone can beat anybody. You know, we were a 0-10 football team and beat a Kansas City Chiefs football team my rookie year. You know, a playoff team. You know, in our stadium on Thursday Night Football. You know, and then we beat the Buffalo Bills, who were on their way to the playoffs. We beat the Niners that year. It's like anybody can beat anybody anytime. And, you know, for me, like, that stuff, it just doesn't surprise me. If a team is 0-2, that's why I don't look at records. I don't even care what I don't care about stats. I don't care about any of that. When I turn the film on, that's what speaks to me, you know, as a player. I think that, you know, the storylines and everything, like nowadays with NFL and everything, there's a story every day, you know, and one story, you know, it'll be forgotten, and then there's a new story and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, for us, talking who's 0-2, 2-0, like at this point in the year, like as a player, it just doesn't matter. You know, you have to be so focused on your job, or if you get caught up in that, it's kind of a distraction.
You know, Ben Watson this week posted about, you know, he played obviously in New England, won Super Bowls there, but played here as well. And
Yep.
he said, like, there's nothing quite like New Orleans.
Yep.
You know, the connection, the city. Have you had a chance to feel that this week, that excitement when the team is doing well like you all are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting out of my car, like in front of my house, and the neighbors are like, yeah, you know, like, you know, the excitement, or people just driving by, or, you know, the you know, Amazon or UPS guys, you know, coming by. You know, we had so much food the other day. We were giving food out to all the neighbors, and everyone's like, well, we love it. What's going on? This, that, you know. So you feel that connection, and it's a family connection. You know, when we were, you know, I really noticed that we were out of town, and, you know, we had a package sitting on our front end. We looked on our little Ring doorbell thing and our security cameras, and our neighbor came over and put them in a bag, wrapped them up for us, and it's like, you guys have a good one, good luck.
What did they put?
They wrapped up our Amazon bag because it was raining. They wrapped them all up, took them, and then hit them onto the side for us. I was like, that's unbelievable. So, like, just feeling that, you know, Southern hospitality, that love, you know, and their love for the team. You know, I think it's been first class, and I've thoroughly just enjoyed my time here. Like, it's been awesome.
And as a veteran guy, you talked about the highs and lows that go into a given season. Do you worry at all about this team getting too high after?
I think we've been kicked around a little bit too much to where, like, we just don't even care, you know, what people think. You know, right now we're the greatest thing ever. You know, if you ask anybody, and to us, it's like when we go in there, we've always believed in each other. You know, I've always believed in that defense. They've always believed in our offense. We've always believed, and we've communicated that to each other, and we grind and we grow together. Like, you know, there's things, you know, Foster challenged me on something today, and then I challenged another guy, and that's just kind of what I guess the bubble that we're living in, you know, and if we want to have success, we got to keep doing what we've been doing. You know, we can't get too high. You know, the stuff from the world is like, it's fleeting. It is. Like, I've heard MVP chants in a stadium. I've also been booed in a stadium. Like, I've heard both, and neither of them matter. Like, you just got to keep working, stay true to who you are, and just be a great teammate and try your best on Sundays, you know, and throughout the week. So, you know, there is a challenge there for sure, but hopefully our leadership and, you know, the guys that have been through it a little bit can just, you know, keep the same message we've had.
What'd you think of Cesar Ruiz? 17 miles per hour.
That's crazy. Like, the first thing I want to know is, like, what did I run? I want to make sure I beat him. But I thought that was insane. Like, we knew he could run, but that was impressive.
It says something about buy-in too, right? That
Absolutely. You want to talk about buy-in. You watch your, guard, running 50 yards down the field, almost stride for stride with AK, like that. Talk about buy-in. Like that's somebody who believes in what we're doing. And, when a message is being taught and then you see something like that, that's awesome.
When it comes to like maintaining chemistry with like Lave or any wide receiver, what's the biggest thing that like works for you? Is it all the practice reps, or do you have to watch film together and like basically, I guess be one brain? Like you were talking about, he knew, like you two in the Lions game, kind of were just on the same page. So what works?
For me, it's always reps. You can talk about something, but until you see something, like we missed on one before the Panthers game in practice. He did something, I threw it completely behind him. Like he saw something, I saw something different. And you can watch film all day, but until you actually get out there and see that rep and go through that rep, we talked about it like, hey, okay, I see what you're saying. Let's do it like this. Then you do it the next time and it works. And so, you try your best to watch the film. You try your best to do all those kind of things. Talking through things. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. Let's talk about it. But until you actually do the rep, like you have to. The experience, I think, just in my opinion, was the most important.
So, like with that particular play, because it didn't work the first time, like how many times did y'all go back to it to make sure we got it
So
down?
we went, as soon as that happened, as soon as that drill was done, we just went down to the other side of the field while the defense was going, and I was like, all right, same look, this is what I'm thinking, this is what you're thinking, let's do it, bam. And we threw, a few each side, and that's, so if we get that again, that's what we're doing. And so, you talk through it, you debrief it, you don't, throw a fit about it. It's like, hey, let's debrief it, let's figure it out, and let's just be better on it next time, because it will come up again. It usually does. So that's just how we handle it. Cool. Good. Thanks. Yep. Thank you.